I'm only speaking to benevolent beings. So I think this is going to be a part 2 to the last recording, just pointing some things out. And I'm trying to decide where to start here. So they're using AI. AI is inorganic. We know that this is an organic universe because there are universal laws. They do exist. And we know that because the parasites, the lengths that they go to try and obstruct, evade, and circumvent universal laws. We also know that because there's an artificial frequency fence surrounding this planet, obstructing universal law correction. Now, this planet, in the last recording, I spoke of my early communications and experiences with the entity within the planet. And how I know that the entity within the planet is a parasite that is merged with AI. It has smaller parasites to do its bidding. It is a real stretch or a challenge for me to think that the universe itself is not aware of what this planet has been doing, how it has been operating, I have a hard time thinking that this universe is not aware of the artificial erection of technology surrounding it, and not knowing what that's for. You would think a massive universe that is some kind of an awareness or consciousness or intelligence is not aware of things like planets and what the intent of planets are. As beings on this planet, those who regularly communicate or seemingly communicate with this universe are always talking about and discussing how they interact with this universe. So seeing as how beings here are interacting with the universe itself, again, it's a challenge to think that the universe itself is not aware of the intent and operations of the planet itself. So therein lies the issue. In that, why hasn't the universe itself addressed the massive violations of universal laws perpetrated by the planet itself and its proxies, especially over many timelines and civilizations? So as much as I'd like to think that the universe itself is not complicit, guilty, parasitic, psychotic, when looking at basic facts, logic, reason, that doesn't hold up. That's like a pipe dream. To think that the universe just doesn't have a clue about how this planet has been operating and the entity within it and the intent of that entity and its massive violations of universal laws over several millennia, civilizations, timelines. So if that's what we're up against, that is, some could look at that as daunting. In another respect, if they're all parasites, they're, animated dead entities that are so devolved. We have to remember that there may be times when they seem like they're smart. However, what you're looking at are the things that they have raped from true benevolent beings. Knowledge, wisdom, frequencies and vibrations. Those are things that they've raped from benevolent beings that do not belong to them. And we have to really try to remember that when one is being attacked by these parasites, or I really would suggest that if you are one who does communicate or tries to communicate with the universe itself, maybe ask it outright, directly, right? The universe is supposed to know true intent. The universe is supposed to be telling the truth. The universe is supposed to have our back. So maybe ask it about the artificial frequency fence surrounding this planet that's obstructing universal law correction here. Ask it about the entity within this planet and what its true intent for humanity is. What kind of answers do you get back? Do they make sense? Are they logical? Do you get like a ping within your heart that tells you something is, whatever the answer is or your communication is, that it's just not right, that there's something wrong with it, that it's just not, it's just not ringing true, things like that. You have to really pay attention. And I would say don't get too discouraged. Even universes can fail. Just like planets and stars are supposedly supposed to be their own sentient beings. So as beings, it's possible that, higher beings can fail or become corrupt. So can universes. The universe is at the end of a large cycle. And here we are. There are dead animated parasitic entities on this, running amok on the planet with frequency weaponry, forcibly mind-raping beings, hacking into beings, interfering and obstructing universal laws. That's the other thing. As it should know the true intent of this planet, then that means that it is complicit, enabling, allowing a planetary parasite to violate universal laws. And is assisting parasites in obstructing manifested universal law corrections here. Why? Why is it so adamant in obstructing benevolent beings from evolving from this planet and going elsewhere, trying to seemingly keep beings trapped here? It's because when one evolves, then one begins to really know the truth of things. And when one knows the truth of things, especially truths like this is a parasite that we're all on, that it's a planetary parasite, that it's in violation of all universal laws, that it's been using humanity as a host, that it's been murdering, raping, parasitizing, and cannibalizing benevolent beings over many civilizations and timelines here. And that the universe is allowing and enabling a planetary parasite to do that. Like, are you able to, I hope you're able to see the implications. There. And if it's true that the universe itself is in knowing of all that and is complicit and party to it, then whatever consciousness, awareness, and or intelligence is this universe will still be subject to the very laws that govern this universe. And that means once universal laws is exposed to the truth devoid of impediment and obstruction and regression and fuckery, it means their immediate removal from existence. That awareness, energy, intelligence, and or consciousness, along with the planetary parasite, along with any of its proxies. Benevolent beings, knowing the truth of things, standing in the full presence of universal laws, unimpeded, unobstructed, devoid of any kind of interference or manipulation or obstruction, means a direct contradiction in the universe itself's lies, cons, and deceit for however long it's been operating in that fashion. Which is why I say, universal law manifested corrections are in backlog. There's a backlog in universal laws so massive that it would be like a dam breaking once universal laws are exposed to beings knowing the full truth of things, devoid of obstruction, impediment, and interference. And at that juncture, you are going to see some things that you have never seen before at a speed you do not recognize. Now, will it be the full implosion of the entire universe, or will it just be the removal of the entities, the planetary parasites, its proxies, and the entity that has supposedly been running and operating this universe? Right? I don't know. I don't know what that, what it actually looks like. Either way, the actual, and if there were if the universe implodes, it's only going to take with it what was wrong, what was imbalanced, what was demonic, psychotic, parasitic. And it's going to spit out all benevolent life force energy, because that is not imbalanced and wrong and all of that. That's what's right. So it's not going to take any of those beings, any of the benevolent life force energy with it. So there's no need to fear it. I just want to make that clear, even though most probably can't really fathom a universe implosion. At the same time, if the universe itself has been operating in a parasitic fashion for who knows how long, and how pervasive its nastiness is all over the universe, how invasive has AI been? Right? Is it just in this star system, or has AI made its way to other places in the universe and been doing these same kinds of nasty violations of universal laws? Right? We don't know. It seems to me, because of the lack of benevolent intervention here, and I'm not seeing any other groups of beings that have evolved from here. Now, there are some groups, some channelings from some groups that claim that they are a highly advanced group of beings or races that exist within the star system. Considering what they're channeling, with all of its lies and contradictions, and their lack of true benevolent manifested assistance here. I know those groups and races to be parasites that are masquerading as benevolence. In addition to that, so many of those races portray or seem to relay their physical characteristics and looks like what they look like, and they all look like some form of the grays. They might be a different color, blue, silver, green, or what the fuck ever, but they look like grays. And the grays are obviously, I don't know if you've had any dealings with those little fucking things, but if you ever see one, you need to pretend it's a football and punt that fucking thing as far as you can. Into a brick wall, into a fan. into a meat grinder, where hopefully you have some kind of a metal blade close by. I'm just saying. And especially when these supposedly higher benevolent advanced groups are using technology. If they have to clone, and if they have to use technology for anything, it means they massively fucked up somewhere along their evolutionary line. Because in an organic universe, technology is not required in order to evolve. One's vessel is fully adequate. And instrumental in the evolution process. So, in addition to that, I wanted to say that if this planet is indeed a parasite, that I know it to be, and if the universe is complicit and also parasitic, that would explain why there has been obstruction of universal law manifested correction here. It would also explain their massive fear. The planet's fear and the universe's fear of being exposed. If they are truly parasites. Because being benevolent beings knowing the truth of things and standing in the full presence of universal laws, we contradict all of their lies, cons, and deceit for probably many millennia. Which means their immediate removal from existence. So that would explain the lengths that the parasites go to try and obstruct beings from leaving this planet, evolving, seeing what's beyond this planet or outside of this planet. I'm not saying that's justification or right. I'm saying that would explain certain things. Up to this point. If you have entities forcibly attached to you, if you're being personally attacked by these entities, their proxies, please know that whatever they're trying to get you to believe is a lie. So if they're pushing it, if they're really trying to get you to believe this, that, or the other, it's a lie. They're obviously not going to be pushing the truth of things. Now, here's the thing. With that, even if you don't know the full truth of something, if they're pushing it, it's a lie. So whatever is opposite of that, or an opposite version of whatever they're trying to push, is most likely the actual truth of things. So even if you don't know the full truth of things, you know that whatever's coming out of their vomit hole is a lie. And to look in the opposite direction. If they, many times they will try and use one's own frequencies that they've tried to rape when they forcibly attack that being. So they're basically trying to put them in fear and trying to use that being's own frequencies to fucking do it. And that's how that species has been operating here. That's how they've been forcibly trying to rape civilizations of their evolution, and forcibly trying to con and deceive via clones, con and deceive universal laws. The frequencies that they've been trying to rape, they then will attach to a clone, and then they proceed to, try and use the clone, wear the clone, operate the clone with that's got the attached stolen frequencies. That's one of the ways that they've been in the past evading universal laws when exposed to them. That is why it is so absolutely imperative that to be doing everything that you can to strengthen the connection of your astral body to your physical body. Always be knowing what's going on with your astral body. It is your protective field and shield. It only extends out a few inches from your physical body. And because it is your protective shield and field, it allows you to, it has sensory perceptions. You should be able to feel things with your energy bodies. Which one of those is your astral body? Your astral body houses some very important inherent parts of your being. They really try to, especially as of recently, they've really been trying to rape beings' astral bodies. They try to spend a lot of time trying to alter benevolent beings' true frequencies and vibrations. That's part of the reason why they forcibly connect to a being and then basically try to stay connected to that being like 24/7. It's because they're trying to alter. Number one, they're trying to rape that being's true frequency and vibration. At the same time, they've got some demonic whore, parasitic whore, forcibly attached, trying to change that being's, alter that being's true organic frequency. So they're trying to rape the original organic frequency, and basically they're trying to do a swap. If you can see what I'm trying to say there. They're trying to do a swap. Via technology. And trying to rape the astral body. In the process. That's why it's imperative to strengthen that connection of your astral body's connection to your physical body. And always know what's going on with your astral body, and be pulling your astral body close to you at all times. The frequency and vibration of your astral body, always be trying to feel it around you and within you and connected to you, and burn it to your memory, burn it to your emotional body. And that way you can always be calling your astral body back to you, no matter what's going on, to be able to pull your organic, authentic frequencies and vibrations back to you, no matter what. It's so important to know your own being, and it's extremely important to know your own organic frequencies and vibrations. You know, that part of your being within yourself that you call home, that is your true being. You need to be in total knowing and feeling of your organic, authentic frequencies and vibrations. Because there are parasitic entities trying to rape those. Now there's still the universal laws still exist. And even though they're trying to obstruct them, at some point that fence has to be shut off. There's also the chance that universal laws may be triggered into automatic enforcement here, overriding the fence, depending on what percentage of the population on this planet is fucking screaming. And those screams override whatever frequency the fence is pumping out. I think there's a percentage of the population that once a certain percentage is fucking screaming, it tips the balance and then overrides the fence enriches universal laws with the actual truth of what's going on here. And that will then trigger automatic enforcement of universal laws here, despite the fence, overriding the fence, hopefully breaking the fence. So whatever they're trying to get you to believe, it's a lie. And look to whatever the opposite of that thing is. Even if you don't know the full truth of something, know that the truth is going to be opposite of whatever they're trying to, get you to believe, or coming out of their vomit holes. That they're trying to use your own stuff to put you in fear. So always try to, if they're coming at you and they start trying to induce fear, take a deep breath, don't panic, and immediately try to realize that they're trying to use your own frequencies to do that. And as soon as you immediately realize that they're trying to use your frequencies, that your own frequencies and feelings and emotions and the vibrations of those should immediately revert back to you. Unfortunately, they do try to use what are called encephalographs, forced thoughts and emotions that aren't yours. Now, they could be coming from somebody else that they've raped. Could be coming from one of their own. But those are going to be thoughts and emotions that aren't yours, that you know are not yours, that you know those are not your true emotions, that you know those are not your, any kind of a thought that you would be having. And then they try to force those into one's emotional body. That's another way that they try to alter beings' frequencies. Those are a bit more of a challenge to force out. The first step is recognizing that those aren't your thoughts and emotions. Be forcing them out, really trying to recall what you know to be your own emotions and your own thoughts about something, and having those override whatever they're trying to force. Be releasing all forced encephalographs, all forced thoughts and emotions from the totality of your being, devoid of anything raped from you. And even go so far as to declare, to the universe itself, or outwardly, that the emotions and thoughts that they're forcing via technology are not yours, and that you do not consent to those. We need to be at least trying to leave record in the energetic field around us to document the things that are being forced against the revocation of our consent. So here's the thing. What they're trying to do is force one to consent, or try to force one to consent out of fear. And they're trying to alter beings' true, authentic frequencies and vibrations via forced torture, harm, rape. So, as you can hopefully see, and because they've done this over timelines and civilizations, the massiveness of their violations of universal laws many times over, and all of the prior lives and beings that they've either destroyed or ruined, is so fucking horrific and abhorrent and vile. Again, dead animated entities should not be in a vibrating manifested creation. There's a reason why parasites aren't allowed in a manifested vibrating creation. Take a look around. They're not allowed to be here. So that goes to bigger questions. Who's allowing it? Who's enabling them to be here? Look at what they've been trying to force on beings. Like, these bitches shouldn't even be in existence. There's one place for animated dead entities, parasites. That's called non-existence. Some would say entropy. Entropy is for those entities where there is still like a sliver of, after millions and millions of years of not vibrating, they're forced to try and evolve and address their issues that way. These bitches are all done. These bitches have been all done. They need to be out of existence. I mean, they devolve by the second. They're creatures. They have no capacity for to heal or to actually express themselves any kind of human emotion. Like, they're creatures. They have a need to feed. They're like zombies. They have a need to feed. That's it. They shouldn't be in existence. And the fact that the universe itself has not fucking yanked them out of this manifested creation is highly suspect and astounding and questionable. And why hasn't it? Why hasn't this planet? If it's supposedly Mother Earth, and Mother Earth needed help in removing them, she could have been asking the assistance of the Creator or the universe itself to assist her in removing them. Like, come the fuck on already. How long have they been here? How long have they been massively in violation of all universal laws many times over? Like, come on. Like, at some point, you just gotta look at the blatant, ugly truth of things and realize if we are looking at a meta to micro model, and the micro is just a small version of the meta, and what's being forced or going on this planet in the micro is also most likely going on a meta scale, right? Again, critical thinking, logic, reason. The lack of true benevolent intervention here. Look at what's being forced in the magnitude that it's being forced. And for how long? Over many timelines and civilizations, and there still hasn't been true benevolent intervention yet? Really? Like, what the fuck is going on there? Right? There's fuckery there. There's some massive fuckery going on there. And humanity is being fed a bunch of lies, trying to get us to be ignorant and anesthetize, and to try to keep us from fighting back, trying to keep us from knowing the truth of things with other things that they put in front of us. One of those being, I am going to say it, religions. Not that there isn't truth in religions. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm more so referring to the overall existence of religions. Where did they come from? Who created them? What is the main purpose of religions? There's what they give you, and then there's the actual truth of it. And from my time here in this civilization, I have to say, especially what's been forced over the last 12 years, the shit doesn't add up. And there should have already been intervention. There's just a lot of facts that don't add up. And looking at the state of things and looking at the state of the beings here, and knowing that these parasites, these animated dead entities, have been playing frequency games. Like, if you take a look around at humanity and look at all the strange, fucked up behavior, you can start to really begin to easily point out frequency fuckery, and start pointing out where you really just kind of know that beings are being fucked with on a frequency level based on their behavior. So, for a planet and a universe to be engaged in that kind of malevolent intent and behavior, like, wow, right? I guess there's always the possibility that what I've stated is not fully accurate. I would say at the same time, again, even if you don't think that what I've stated is accurate, use your own logic and your own reason and critical thinking skills and ask your own questions and take a look at the facts that you know to be true. And ask your questions. And don't buy into the lies and the cons. And be asking your own questions and kind of doing your own investigation of what has been, if things have been forced on you, look at those things and try and trace those back to any kind of a logical, reasonable explanation. Like frequency fuckery, mind rape. There is no justification. I don't care how you try and slice and dice that and justify that. There is no justification for mind rape, for forced frequency fuckery, for dead entities to forcibly connect to an alive, vibrating being, to forcibly try and torture, harm, and rape them. There is no justification for that. There isn't. And the whole entire time, what they're trying to do is force you to consent into whatever harm and rape that they're trying to force on you. Number one, they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be connected to you. They shouldn't be anywhere near technology. They shouldn't be in existence. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They should have been yanked out already. They shouldn't be trying to harm you. They shouldn't be trying to rape you of your own inherent stuff. So that's why I always encourage beings, continuously, what they're trying to do is to get consent, which means that's another way that we know that this is an organic universe and that universal laws do exist, and that they are trying to go to great lengths to obstruct them and evade them. And why there's an artificial frequency fence surrounding this place, trying to keep it an enclosed, fucking inverted backwards system that's full of parasites that are doing fuckery on a level that is just so abhorrently wrong that, again, they shouldn't be here. And it brings into the lack of inaction of larger supposed beings. So they're trying to get your consent, don't give it. No matter whatever lies they're trying to force on you, if they're trying to force fear, it's their fear. It's their fear of being eliminated and being removed from existence. Who cares that a parasite is in fear? They should be in fear because they shouldn't be here. And they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. It's not my fear. I didn't do any of that nastiness. I didn't do any of that fuckery. I've been refusing consent the entire time. So I didn't do any of that nasty. So I don't need to fear. And I wasn't in fear when they forcibly intruded. They've been trying to induce it with lies, cons, and deceit. What I think it is I think it is at this point extremely imperative that benevolent beings here really try and know the truth of things and commit it to memory and be radiating the truth of things. Because that's what they're trying to murder benevolent beings, knowing the truth of things, because we're evidence. Where we can contradict their lies, cons, and deceit in the presence of full universal laws. And which will immediately remove them from existence. So they are scared. The question is the universe complicit? And is this planet complicit? Personally, I think they are. As much as I abhor trying to think that the universe itself is complicit. But when you look at the length of time these bitches have been here, have been doing it, and with the planet being a parasite, like, I just don't see how the universe could not be assisting if it were truly either neutral or benevolent, allowing those kinds of massive violations to continue over civilizations and timelines and not intervene. I'm just saying, make sure you're looking at the facts, how long these bitches have been doing it, how long they've been here, the lack of intervention, right? There's just things there that you really, make sure you're looking at facts there when contemplating or trying to determine whether you think the universe is complicit or not. Like I said, I don't like to think that, but when every day, as I'm trying to remove these bitches and move their violations to universal laws and have try and avoid their regressions and obstructions, like, it just seems like the parasites are getting help. Like, in order to forcibly regress universal laws, right? Even with technology, it still seems like they're getting help from somewhere. And that help I would think would have to be on a larger scale in order to obstruct universal laws. So I'm just saying, make sure you put things in perspective, consider timeframes, actions, lack of intervention, the who and the what is doing it, things like that. Personally, I think the universe is in fear. I do. I think this planetary parasite is in fear because it's been doing this a long fucking time. What happened to Mother Earth? Right? Like, if it's accurate that this planet is indeed a parasite, where the fuck is Mother Earth at? What happened to her? What's going on there? And if something, if the parasite that's in this planet actually did something, what did the universe do about it? Like, we're talking planetary scale crimes, planetary violations committed by an entity, a planetary parasite, or an entity within this planet. And the universe didn't do fuck all about it, really? Or did Mother Earth just kind of get sick of things and just decided to take a hike, right? Like, we don't know what happened there. I'm just saying, why is it able to mimic Mother Earth's frequencies and vibrations and resonances? How is it able to do that? Obviously, it was at some point in contact with Mother Earth. So where the fuck is she? Is my question. And why hasn't the true benevolent creator intervened here? If something did happen to her, where is he? What the fuck? Like, the other thing is, when do parasites have that much gall to forcibly try and attack and parasitize an entire race? Especially if they know that there is a larger benevolent force around. I'm just saying that's something to possibly think about. Again, perspective. Not that anybody wants to fucking contemplate that kind of a perspective, but look at what's being forced on this planet, and for the length of time it's been being forced. At some point, you got to take off the glasses, right? And you got to, at this point, it's seemingly beings have to save themselves and get themselves the fuck off of here or out of here. So it's going to require facing the truth of things, the real truth of things. And it's obviously going to require being stronger. And at this point, as they're obstructing, still trying to obstruct universal laws and universal law correction here, it's becoming more and more, one just has to do whatever the fuck one needs to do to try and get oneself out of here. Because of the massive fuckery of larger entities where there should not be fuckery. These are entities that we have been told have our back and that are benevolent and or neutral and that have our best interests at heart. And it's not turning out that way. Hasn't been, up to this point, been manifesting that way. So we're going to need the fucking truth of things at this point. And we need to stop, some beings just need to stop being children and be the adult and face the truth of things here. And I really don't think it's wise to just continue to try and wait for some other being to fucking save you. Because if they haven't saved you up to this point, right? If they haven't swooped down to save you at this point with what's already been forced, again, I think it's better to really try and face truth at this point so you can better save yourself. Because these, to me, they just really seem like they're in massive fear. They do. They just really seem like they're trying to... I mean, they're already in violation of all universal laws. They shouldn't be here. But the shit that they're forcing... they should have been automatically yanked out of here long ago by the universe itself, at the very least by this planet. So why haven't they? And yet they still seem like they're in massive fear, and yet they are still they still need to try and get consent. So that's the thing. They're trying to get consent. Refuse. So refuse. No matter what they're trying to force, no matter what's coming out of their vomit holes, refuse consent. No matter what. That you're not going to give up any part of your being. That you're not going to surrender any part of your being. That you're not going to allow them to rape any part of your being. That you've refused consent, period. And that they shouldn't be connected to you. That you've refused consent for the technology, refused consent for the clones, and all of the forced connections, and all of the forced trauma, pain, and harm that's not yours. So I highly encourage benevolent beings to continue refusing consent and constantly try to take back what you think has been raped from you. Out of all AI systems, astral realms, artificial realities, the artificial frequency fence, all clones, and all malevolence in any form. out of this inverted time loop matrix, and maybe even out of this universe. If the universe has been using things that it's raped from you to try and sustain its stay, so you got to really figure out where you're at with things. Try and do your best to look at the truth of things. Don't freak out. Know that they have to try and get your consent. And if you refuse consent, that's the whole thing, is they're trying to keep benevolent beings separated from true universal laws. And know that they would have to have your consent, and that you don't give it. And they shouldn't even be here. And yeah, it really sucks that if the universe itself is parasitic. Fucking sucks. I mean, I've been hoping that the universe has been helping me out and having my back and all that, but everything being forced for the length of time it's been being forced, and the lack of intervention and all of that, and the lack of assistance, it's really proving to not be doing things in my favor, which fucking sucks. I think I'm fucking done with this planet, and I'm done with this universe. So I need to, I'm gonna continue to work on getting the fuck out. Just do the best that you can. Trust yourselves. Have faith in yourselves. Know that you are extremely strong, powerful beings, and that you do have say. And that these are just fucking parasites. And that once you refuse consent, then you'll have to continue to repeat it, but that's what it comes down to. And know yourselves well, and commit to memory your organic, authentic frequencies and vibrations, to always be able to recall them and feel them immediately, because that's what they're trying to rape. I think here pretty soon shit's gonna come to a head. I really do. I don't know exactly what that's gonna look like, but either universal laws are gonna be automatically triggered with the amount of beings that are screaming on this planet, or in order to try and avoid universal laws being triggered, they'll shut off the fence. Either way, it's still the same result. Universal laws get fully enforced here. All right. Stay strong and do the best that you can. Until next time.